Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yesterday, we have started with the resultant of the coplanar force system. In this resultant of the coplanar force system, in yesterday's lecture, I told you about the force, different parameters of the force on which the effect is depend. And under this only, we have studied the different force systems. Clear? Because the effect is also depends on how the forces are arranged when they act simultaneously on the body. So this arrangement of the forces is known as the system of forces. And under that system of forces, we have studied the coplanar force system and non-coplanar force system. Under coplanar force system, we have studied the different force systems. They are concurrent, parallel, and non-concurrent, non-parallel, which is commonly known as the general force system. Yeah. And at the end of the previous lecture, I told you the two different principles. Here one is the principle of transmissibility. Here, according to the principle of transmissibility, you can transfer the force anywhere on its line of action without changing its magnitude and direction. Effect is remains same. Here, and principle of superposition states that if you add or subtract any force system which is in equilibrium, the effect is remain unchanged. Okay. Now, after this principle of superposition and principle of transmissibility, here now we are going to see what is meant by resultant of the force system. Here, what is meant by resultant? How can we define the resultant? Resultant of the force. Okay. Now, for example, suppose here this is one object on which these three forces are acting. These are the line of action of the forces. Clear, let this is F1, let this is F2, and let this is F3. Now, under the action of these three forces, clear, when they act together, under the action of these three forces, let this body move upward with some acceleration. Means the means combined effect of this force is to move the body upward. Means this is the combined effect of these three forces. Okay. Now, instead of these three forces, if I apply a single force here which will produce the same effect, यार हम लोगों को सेम इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस कर देगा है, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट थ्री फोर्सेस हियर आई हैव टू अप्लाई अ सिंगल फोर्स व्हिच शुड क्रिएट द सेम इफेक्ट. इफेक्ट सेम होना चाहिए. ओके, हियर सो इफ द इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द सिंगल फोर्स which when act independently, not together with these three forces, here if the effect produced by a single force which when act independently is same, if the effect produced by a single force when it acts independently is same, then that single force is known as the resultant. Okay, here, so what is resultant? Resultant is a single equivalent force which when act independently produce the same effect on the body. Okay, here, so to find out the resultant, इसका मतलब है here to find out such a single equivalent force which should produce the same effect as that number of forces producing on the body. ये दोनों सिस्टम का इफेक्ट सेम होना चाहिए तो ही हम लोग इसको बोल सकते हैं रिजल्टेंट. ओके, here now the combined effect of all these three forces and the effect of this single force is same. Here effect same है. Here when the effect of the two different force system is same, forces may not be same. Clear, but if the effect of the two different force systems is same when they act independently, such type of two force systems are known as the equivalent force system. Equivalent force system, and resultant is the simplest equivalent force system. Here, so how can you define the equivalent force system? So when the effect of the two different force systems is same, here then we can say that two force systems are equivalent. Okay, Here when the effect of the two different force system is same, we can say that force systems are equivalent. Equivalent force system के लिए clear forces same नहीं होना चाहिए, their effect should be same. Understood? Here that force system is known as the equivalent force system. Now, suppose these are the two different force systems which are equivalent. ये दोनों equivalent है. यार ये दोनों भी equivalent है, but this in another equivalent force system there is a single force, okay, which is one of the simplest equivalent force system. इसमें ये दोनों equivalent है. These are equivalent means दोनों का effect same है. Okay, magnitude can be anything. या लेकिन ये दोनों system का effect same है. लेकिन this one force system consists of the three forces, another force system consists of the two forces, लेकिन दोनों का effect same है. So these become the equivalent force system. And remember, when such type of two equivalent force systems are there, here the दोनों का effect same है. इसका मतलब ultimately I can say that here ये दोनों का resultant भी same होना चाहिए. So when the two different force systems are equivalent, here their resultant has to be same. Understood? Here, so how can we define the resultant? Resultant is a single equivalent force which produces the same effect as that number of forces producing on the body. That single force is known as the resultant. Okay, here. So this resultant is a single equivalent force जो ये तीनों का same effect produce करता है. Yeah. Now the next term, now I'm going to tell you which are the different methods to find out the resultant. Okay, but before that, let me tell you one thing. The next definition is the equilibrant. Now, what is in the equilibrant? Here now, these three forces together produce a accelerated translational motion. Here, and resultant is a single equivalent force which also produces the accelerated translational motion. Here, now what is equilibrant? So equilibrant is a single force which when act together with these forces. Here, resultant is a single equivalent force which when act independently produce the same effect. अगर ये फोर्स भी इसके साथ ऐड कर देते हैं तो इफेक्ट डबल हो जाएगा. Okay, here whereas equilibrant is a single force which when act together with these three forces keep the body in the state of rest. Clear? Equilibrant क्या करता है? ये एक ऐसा सिंगल फोर्स है जो अगर ये फोर्सेस के साथ हम लोग अगर ऐड करेंगे तो इट विल कीप द सिस्टम इन द स्टेट ऑफ रेस्ट और इक्विलिब्रियम. Here, that single equivalent force is known as the equilibrant. Here, अभी देखो, ये तीनों का इफेक्ट ये सिंगल फोर्स प्रोड्यूस करता है. ओके, यार और अभी ये सिस्टम में मुझे एक सिंगल ऐसा फोर्स ऐड करने का है here which will cancel this effect, which will keep the body in the state of rest. Here, so ये सिंगल फोर्स जो है इसका अगर इफेक्ट मुझे नल एंड वॉइड करने का है, इफ आई वांट टू कीप दिस सिस्टम इन इक्विलिब्रियम और इन द स्टेट ऑफ रेस्ट.
Sir, your screen is blur.
Is it blur for all of you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Clear. It's clear.
Okay. If it is clear for others, so you check your internet connection. Okay. Listen, if internet connection is poor, so sometimes you feel like that it is a blur. Okay. So if it is for others, it is clear. You just cross check your internet connection. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So equilibrant when is a single force which when act along with this force here which will keep the system in state of rest. Here अभी ये सिस्टम का ये सिंगल फोर्स एक्ट हो रहा है which will produce this effect. अभी मुझे इसका इफेक्ट नल एंड वॉइड करने का है, मींस मुझे ये फोर्स को सॉरी ये बॉडी को स्टेट ऑफ रेस्ट में रखने का है. Yes, so can you tell me how can I add a single force which will cancel the effect of this force or which will keep the system in state of rest? कैसा रहेगा वो फोर्स?
In opposite direction.
It will be in the opposite direction. यार इधर दिखाया तो चलेगा क्या?
No.
No.
हाँ, तो अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में ये अपवर्ड है ये तो ये डाउनवर्ड चाहिए, लेकिन कहाँ पे?
Collinear.
Line of action.
कोलिनियर चाहिए. ओके, परफेक्ट टेक्निकल वर्ड कोलिनियर. तो इसके लिए कोलिनियर चाहिए, डाउनवर्ड चाहिए। यार इसका मैग्नीट्यूड कितना होना चाहिए टू नलिफाई द इफेक्ट ऑफ दैट आर फोर्स?
Same as R.
greater or equal.
सेम, ग्रेटर नहीं, ग्रेटर होगा तो दोनों का अनबैलेंस फोर्स डाउनवर्ड होगा। हम लोगों को अनबैलेंस फोर्स नहीं चाहिए, बैलेंस चाहिए, which should keep the system in the state of rest. Clear? So this equilibrant is a single force which when act together keep the system in equilibrium. It is equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, and collinear in action with the resultant. It is equal, opposite, and collinear with the resultant. Okay, yes. So if anybody asks you calculate the equilibrant, you can calculate the resultant and you can show that equilibrant is opposite to that. Here for any force system, if the resultant is acting in the first quadrant making an angle of theta degree with horizontal, तो ये वो फोर्स सिस्टम का इक्विलिब्रेंट इसके कोलिनियर रहेगा, अपोजिट रहेगा, and magnitude will be equal to the R. Okay, here this is all about the equilibrium. Clear? Now come back to the resultant. Here now how to find out the resultant of the different force systems. Yeah. Now finding the resultant means finding the single equivalent force. Here is very simple, not that difficult. Yeah. For example, suppose there are two forces, let one force is P and other one is Q. These two forces are acting on this body here, and we are studying now the coplanar force system. So when two coplanar non-parallel forces are there, two coplanar non-parallel, here so they are always concurrent. Here if I extend that, this force can be shown it here also. So these become concurrent at this point. Because according to the principle of transmissibility में फोर्स कहीं पे भी शिफ्ट कर सकता हूँ on the same line of action, इफेक्ट सेम रहता है. Clear? So two non-parallel collinear force, coplanar forces, two non-parallel coplanar forces are always concurrent. So let these two forces are acting on this body at point O, and angle between their line of action is theta. Yeah. Now we have to find out the resultant of these two forces. Yeah. Now which are the different methods to find out the resultant? Yeah. The first method is the graphical method to find the resultant. And second one is the analytical method. Actually, this analytical method is derived from the graphical method itself. Yeah. So first I'm going to tell you the graphical method, how we can find out the resultant. Yeah. Now I told you the definition of the resultant, that it is a single force which will produce the same effect. Yeah. But in other words, we can say that the resultant is nothing but the summation of these forces. Here, if we take the summation of the forces, here you will get the resultant. Okay. But we know that this P and Q are the forces, and force is a vector quantity. Here, since force is a vector quantity, here we cannot write the magnitude of the resultant is equal to the magnitude of the force P plus magnitude of the force Q. If suppose this is 10 and this is 20, then the resultant won't be equal to 30. Okay, because it is a vector summation. Here, so resultant, to get the resultant, we have to take the vector summation of these forces. Here, so if we take the vector summation of these forces, here you will get the resultant. Understood this statement? So we cannot write down R equal to P plus Q. Okay, here, but I can write R bar equal to P bar plus Q bar, right? Here, this is not valid, but this is valid. Have understood the difference between these two?
Yes.
Okay, here because force is a vector quantity, we have to take the vector summation. Here, so if we take the vector summation of any forces, you will get the resultant force. Okay, here. Just 1 minute. Hello. So, uh, adding these two forces gives you the resultant. Yeah. Now, tell me which are the different graphical methods to add the vectors. So, finding the resultant is nothing but a summation, vector summation of these forces. Yeah. Now, tell me which are the graphical methods to add the vectors. Do you know any graphical methods to add the vectors?
Triangle law, parallelogram.
Here, first one is a triangle law. Second one is the parallelogram law. And third one is the polygon law. These are the three graphical methods. ये किसका ये three graphical methods? Triangle law, parallelogram law, and polygon law. Actually, these are not the graphical methods to find out the resultant. These are the graphical methods to add the vectors. Here, with the help of these graphical methods, we can add any vector. We can add the force vector, we can add the acceleration vector, okay, velocity vector. Yeah. So by using these graphical methods, we can add any vector. But here in this lesson, we are going to use these graphical methods to add the force vectors, and summation of the force vector gives you the resultant. So for time being, for this lesson, we can say that these are the graphical methods to find out the resultant. Understood this here? So if anybody asks you which are the graphical methods to find the resultant, you can say that the triangle law, parallelogram law, and the polygon law. Okay, here the difference between these three are by using the triangle law and the parallelogram law. Here we can add only two vectors. Here, but when we want to add more than two vectors by using the graphical methods, we have to use the polygon law. Okay, here. So out of these three, here now I will start with the triangle law. Here, how we can add the forces by using the triangle law here to get the resultant. Here, before explaining this triangle law, polygon law, and the parallelogram law, here, because these are the graphical methods here, and in these graphical methods we have to represent the force graphically. Here, आपको ये practical में भी करने का है. Here, so the thing is that how can represent the force graphically? Here, that is the graphical representation of a force. Graphical representation of force. Here, how to represent the force graphically? Here, for example, suppose this is one body on which one force is acting. Let this force is 50 Newton. This is the magnitude of this force, and it is acting at point O, inclined at an angle of 30 degrees with horizontal. This is the magnitude, this is the direction, and this is the line of action of that force. Okay, so how to represent this force graphically? To represent the force graphically, you have to draw the line parallel to the line of action of this force. Clear? So that if it is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees, this will also be inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. To represent the force graphically, draw the line parallel to the line of action of that force here, and select some suitable scale to represent the magnitude. Here, whenever we represent the force graphically, you have to select the scale to represent the magnitude of the force. Here, now here the magnitude of the force is 50 Newton. Here, so I will select the scale here to represent this magnitude as 1 centimeter equal to suppose 10 Newton. So 1 centimeter length of that vector represent a force of 50 Newton. Sorry, 10 Newton. Here, so to represent a force of 50 Newton, how much length is required? It will be 5 centimeter. Here, so at a distance of 5 centimeter, mark the point and let this point is B. So this AB vector represent a force of 50 Newton according to this scale. Here, so to represent the force graphically, you have to draw the line parallel to the line of action of the force and select some suitable scale to represent the magnitude of that force. Okay. So, whenever we represent the force graphically, here by selecting some suitable scale to represent its magnitude, here this length of the vector represent its magnitude. ये important है. Clear? So if I ask you how much is this length AB, you can say that it represents the force of 50 Newton. Length may vary. अगर मैंने scale vary किया तो ये length vary हो सकता है. Clear? But in that case also that length represents the force of 50 Newton. So how much is this length? This length represents the force of 50 Newton. Clear? So to represent the force graphically, draw the line parallel to the line of action of the force and select some suitable scale to represent its magnitude. So this length represents the magnitude of that force. Understood this? Here. Now, how we can find out the resultant of the two forces by using the triangle law? Okay. Here, so first one is the triangle law. Here, consider this is one body on which the two forces are acting. Let one magnitude of one force is P and magnitude of another force is Q. Both are meeting at one point, so these are the two concurrent forces. Here, let the angle between these two forces is theta. Angle between these two forces is theta. Okay. Now, triangle law states that when two forces act on a body are represented by the sides of a triangle. Here means we have to represent these two forces as a two adjacent sides of a triangle taken in order. Okay, so I am representing this force P graphically. To represent this force P graphically, here select some suitable scale and draw the line parallel to the line of action of this force P. So this AB line represents the force P. Here means if I ask you how much is the length AB, you can say that it is equal to the P Newton. Here by according to the selected scale. Yeah. So triangle law states that when two forces act on a body are represented by the sides of a triangle taken in order. Here मतलब मुझे Q को represent करने का है. Here so to represent the force Q, draw the line parallel to the line of action of the force Q. Okay, यार लेकिन ये Q को represent करने का मुझे in order means I have to maintain the same order. Clear? So ये Q को जब represent करूंगा to draw the line, I will draw the line parallel to the line of action of the force Q. I will not draw from A. I will draw it from B. Here, draw the line parallel to the line of action of this force Q. Here, if this angle is theta, this will also be theta because this line is parallel to this. Here, if this is theta, means this will be 180 minus theta. Here with the same scale you have to keep same. Here, so with the same scale you have to represent this force Q. Let this BC line represent the force Q. Here, so AB line represent the force P, line BC represent the force Q, or vector BC represent the force Q. So triangle law states that when two forces are represented by the two sides of a triangle taken in order, here the third side represents their resultant taken in opposite order, not in the same order. Resultant is represented by the third side taken in opposite order. Here, so this line AC represents their resultant. Understood? Here, resultant is also a force. Here, which is a vector quantity. So, being as a vector quantity, for its complete specification, we required its magnitude as well as direction. Here means angle made by the line of action of this force R. Here, so if you measure this length AC, and if you multiply it by the scale, here you will get the magnitude of the resultant. Here, and if you measure its inclination of the line of action of this resultant with horizontal, let's denote it as alpha. I am going to denote the direction of the resultant with alpha. Here in some of the book it is given by theta. Here आप theta भी use कर सकते हैं, आप alpha भी use कर सकते हैं. Here I am going to use the alpha. Here notations to denote the direction of the resultant. Here, so this alpha you have to measure and you can write. Here, so if you construct this triangle, you can get the magnitude of the resultant as well as its direction. Here, with the help of scale, measure the length, and with the help of scale, you can write down its magnitude, and with the help of protractor, measure this angle, you will get the direction. Here, so this is the triangle law. Here, so triangle law states that when two forces act on a body are represented as of a triangle taken in order. Here, then the third side represents their resultant taken in opposite order. Here, ये direction होगा resultant का, ये नहीं. Got my point? Any doubt? Okay. The next one is the parallelogram law. Parallelogram law. Okay. Now, again, parallelogram law is used for adding the two forces. Okay. What parallelogram law states, when two forces act on a body, clearly consider the same forces. When two forces act on a body are represented by the two adjacent side of a parallelogram. क्लियर, यहाँ पे हमने रिप्रेजेंट किया बाय द टू साइड्स ऑफ अ ट्रायंगल टेकन इन ऑर्डर, लेकिन यहाँ पे ये दो फोर्सेस को रिप्रेजेंट करने का है ग्राफिकली बाय द टू एडजेसेंट साइड ऑफ अ पैरेललोग्राम. क्लियर? सो लेट दिस इज वन लाइन AB. This AB line represent the force P. Here now you know how to represent it. Draw the line parallel, selection, sutural scale. Here, and this force Q you have to represent as an adjacent side of a parallelogram. Here, so let this BC line represent the force Q. Here, so this angle is theta. So I represented these two forces by the two adjacent side of a parallelogram. Since these are represented two adjacent side of a parallelogram, so let's complete the parallelogram. In parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. Let this point is D. Yes, I have completed the parallelogram here. So if this AC line represent the force Q here, the line parallel to that which is BD here also represent the same force. The line opposite to this AC means this BD will also represent the Q because these two lines are parallel and equal. Okay, means this angle is also theta. This angle will be 180 minus theta. Here, and this CD represent the force P. So what parallelogram law states, here when two forces are acting on the body are represented by the two adjacent side of a parallelogram, and if you complete the parallelogram here, then the diagonal of this parallelogram represents their resultant. Okay, here diagonal represents their resultant. So if you construct the parallelogram here, then the diagonal of that parallelogram represents the resultant. Here, but now in this parallelogram I can show the two diagonal. One is CB and other one is AD. So out of that, which diagonal represents their resultant? Yeah. So the diagonal passing through the intersection of these 2 points, sorry, two forces. Here ये दो forces में का जो intersection point है, here the diagonal passing through that intersection point here is known as the resultant. Longer diagonal does not represent the resultant. Understood? If the forces are like this here, and if I construct the parallelogram, so ये shorter diagonal represent the resultant in this case. Okay, so the diagonal passing through the intersection of that forces represent their resultant. Understood? Any doubt? Here, so you can calculate, find out the resultant graphically either by using the triangle law or the parallelogram law. Here this third side represents the resultant. Here the diagonal represents the resultant. Understood this? Here, so for that you have to construct the parallelogram, measure the length of the diagonal. You will get the magnitude of the resultant and find out its inclination with one of the force P here, which gives you the direction of the resultant. Here you will get the magnitude as well as direction. Understood this graphical method?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now look at the board. Now if you observe this parallelogram law and the triangle law, here this ABC and this ABD, here this part of the parallelogram and this triangle both are same. Yes, because this AB represent the P and BD represent the Q. Yes, so this part becomes similar to the triangle law. Okay. Now whether you consider this triangle or the parallelogram, come back to this triangle. Now I told you that you have to construct this triangle and this length of the third side or length of this diagonal represent the resultant. But if I know the length of these two sides, ये एक साइड का मुझे लेंथ पता है AB which is P, यार ये साइड का लेंथ मुझे पता है BC which is Q, और ये दोनों में का ये एंगल दिया है, सो आई कैन राइट डाउन दिस एंगल व्हिच इज 180 माइनस थीटा। अगर मुझे इतना पैरामीटर्स पता है कि दो साइड्स पता है और दो साइड में का एंगल मुझे पता है, यार so to get the length of the third side which represent the resultant, is it necessary to construct this triangle? I mean to say that without constructing this triangle, if I know the length of the two sides of a triangle and if I know the angle between these two, here by analytically, can I find out the length of the third side?
Yes.
Yes, clear. So in a triangle, if I know the two sides and if I know the included angle between that two sides, the length of the third side I can calculate. Okay, clear. So that is nothing but the analytical method. Okay, here now the question is, in this triangle, if I know the two sides and if I know the angle between the two sides, how can I get the length of the third side? Tell me. In any triangle, if I know the length of the two sides and angle between that two sides, clear? ये दो साइड पता है मुझे, ये एक साइड पता है जिसका लेंथ है x, और ये दूसरा साइड पता है whose length is y, और ये दोनों का एंगल पता है थीटा, तो ये लेंथ ऑफ द थर्ड साइड मुझे कैसे मिलेगा? क्लियर? हाउ आई कैन गेट द लेंथ ऑफ द थर्ड साइड अगर ये इतना पता है तो? कम ऑन फास्ट।
सर थीटा से।
हाँ थीटा से, लेकिन क्या यूज करेंगे थीटा से?
सर कॉस साइन टैन वो सब।
साइन कॉस टैन, ओके। एनीबॉडी एल्स? एनीबॉडी एल्स?
Formula for finding out the resultant.
क्या क्या क्या? ये देखो, मेरा क्वेश्चन रिजल्टेंट से रिलेटेड नहीं है, मेरा क्वेश्चन बेसिक क्वेश्चन है जो 9th और 10th स्टैंडर्ड का है। यार मेरा क्वेश्चन है, अगर आपको ये दो साइड पता है, ये दो साइड का लेंथ पता है और दोनों में का इंक्लूडेड एंगल पता है, तो हाउ कैन आई गेट द लेंथ ऑफ द थर्ड साइड? फॉरगेट अबाउट द रिजल्टेंट एंड एवरीथिंग।
साइड स्क्वायर प्लस,
बोलो बोलो, साइड स्क्वायर प्लस, बोलो ना, मैं लिखता हूं ना इधर। इटल
CD स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू
CB स्क्वायर इक्वल टू
CA स्क्वायर
CA स्क्वायर
प्लस AB स्क्वायर
प्लस AB स्क्वायर। क्लियर? इसने ये बोला, आई डोंट नो द नेम ऑफ हु टोल्ड दिस थिंग्स। क्लियर? इसके पहले किसी ने बोला कि सर साइन कॉस टैन यूज करेंगे, राइट? ओके, बट इज इट एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल द ट्रायंगल? यूज कर सकते हैं, बट इज इट एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल द ट्रायंगल? मैंने जो ट्रायंगल ड्रॉ किया है, मैंने जो ट्रायंगल ABC ट्रायंगल यहाँ पे ड्रॉ किया है, मैंने जो ABC ट्रायंगल यहाँ पे ड्रॉ किया है, यार whether it is applicable to this?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
no,
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 sir.
we cannot. हाँ, तो ये पहला लेसन है, ये देखो क्यों नहीं अप्लाई कर सकते हैं?
Because they are not right angle triangles.
हाँ, clear. So this Pythagoras
सर
and
साइन
this
रूल
trigonometric ratio
Sir, we have to
are
add
applicable only
dot
for.
product also.
हाँ, let me finish. This Pythagoras and trigonometric ratio you can use only for the right angle triangle, not for any triangle. Clear? और मैं आपको बहुत सारे इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट दिखाता हूँ। I already told you that I am teaching this subject from last 20 years. 20 years में आपको बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स दिखाता हूँ, those who apply this Pythagoras and trigonometric to any triangle.
Sir, may I
Okay,
tell?
clear? So make it clear, you have to apply Pythagoras and trigonometric ratio only for right angle triangle and not in any triangle. Okay.
So cosine rule?
Cosine
Sine
rule. Yes. हाँ, cosine rule better. Sine तो नहीं आएगा, clear, but with help of cosine you can do that. Clear? So remember, whenever in any triangle, clear, if you know the two sides and include the angle between the two sides, the third side you can calculate by using the cosine rule. Clear? So if I consider this CB length is suppose Z, yeah, then according to the cosine rule, I can write down Z square equal to, what is that? x square plus y square minus 2xy into cosine of the angle between that two, cosine of theta. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Here, so z square equal to x square plus y square minus 2xy cos theta. Here, this is the cosine rule. Here, और पक्का याद रखो, बहुत बार यूज करने वाले हैं हम लोग. यार, किसके लिए? If you know the two sides of a triangle and include the angle between these two, here third side you can calculate by using the cosine rule. And now in this cosine rule, listen, in this triangle, if this theta become 90 degree, if this theta become 90 degree, this become right angle triangle, and this cosine will become the Pythagoras, because cos 90 is 0. Third term becomes 0, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So you can use that cosine rule here when you know the two sides and include the angle between these two. Okay, so here for this triangle and parallelogram law also, instead of constructing this triangle or instead of constructing this parallelogram, here let's consider this triangle ABD in this one. Here मुझे ये AD length चाहिए. So to calculate that AD length which represent the resultant, I can use the cosine rule. So R square equal to AB square, that is P square, plus BD square, that is Q square, minus 2 times P into Q into cos of included angle between these two. Theta nahi, theta is the exterior angle. Included angle chahiye. So how much is that? 180 minus theta. Here, and this cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So which is equal to P square plus Q square plus Q आया इधर, फार्मूला में माइनस है, ये प्लस Q आया because cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So that minus minus becomes plus. So this becomes 2PQ cos theta. Am I right? Here, that is R equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the formula to find out the resultant of the two forces. Here one force you can denote as a P, other one is Q, and include angle between them is theta. By using this formula, directly you can get the magnitude of the resultant. No need to construct this triangle. लेकिन वो फार्मूला हमने यहाँ से डिराइव किया है यार, और इसको हम लोग बोलेंगे पैरेललोग्राम लॉ. यार ये पैरेललोग्राम लॉ एनालिटिकली यूज किया हमने. R इक्वल टू अंडर रूट ऑफ P स्क्वायर प्लस Q स्क्वायर प्लस 2PQ cos of theta. Any doubt? Have understood this?
yes, sir.
या फिर इसके बाद में हम लोग ये ग्राफिकल मेथड यूज नहीं करेंगे. ये कंसेप्ट था क्लियर. यहाँ से हम लोग अगर सम सॉल्व करने का है तो डायरेक्टली वो फार्मूला यूज करेंगे. क्लियर फॉर टू फोर्सेस. क्लियर. एंड इवन आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू use this formula also. Here I will tell you another method which is the versatile method which you can apply for 2, 3 and more than 3 forces also. Here, whereas this formula is applicable only for 2 forces. Okay. Now ये होगा magnitude of the resultant. Now I want to find out the direction. So this alpha I have to find. Yes, so this ये alpha या तो ये alpha कोई भी है. Here how we can get this alpha? Here so to calculate that alpha I am going to use the basic geometrical concept. Here up you can use the, once you get the R you can use the sine rule also, or instead of the sine rule here I can do some construction. What I can do, I can drop a perpendicular from this D here on this extended line of AB. Let this point is E, so this become right angle triangle. Understood? Now consider this ADE. Consider this right angle triangle ADE, जिसमें मुझे ये अल्फा कैलकुलेट करने का है. Okay, here. So to calculate this alpha, I am going to use the tan relation. So tan alpha equal to opposite side, that is DE, upon adjacent side, which is AE, and this AE can be written as AB plus BE. It is AB plus BE. Have you understood this? How I have written this? Tan alpha equal to opposite side DE upon adjacent side AE. ये AE को मैंने split किया दो पार्ट में, AB plus BE. Understood this? Now this alpha I have to calculate. Now this tan alpha equal to, actually मुझे इसमें पता क्या है, खाली PQ और अल्फा, sorry PQ और थीटा. These three parameters only I know. Clear? I have written the magnitude of the resultant in terms of these three. Now this alpha also I have to write in terms of that three only. Clear? Now To write this DE, consider this triangle. Consider this right angle triangle BDE, in which this angle is theta and this hypotenuse is represent the force Q. Here, so if this hypotenuse is Q, if this angle is theta, can you write down this DE length in terms of Q and theta? How much is that? It is the opposite side. This is the hypotenuse of cos relation. So this DE will become Q cos theta and this BE becomes Q sin theta. Sorry. Opposite side sin theta आएगा and adjacent side आएगा cos theta. Because sin is what? Here sin theta equal to opposite side, that is DE upon hypotenuse, which is Q. So DE equal to Q sin theta. Am I right? Here, are you getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this DE, I have written it as a Q sin theta and BE as a Q cos theta. Here, so let's substitute it here. So this tan alpha equal to DE, that is Q sin theta, upon AB, which is P, plus BE, which is Q cos theta. Here, so this alpha can be written as, here which represent the direction of this resultant, it is equal to tan inverse of Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. Remember, here this formula gives you the direction of the resultant of two forces. Here, this alpha represents the direction of the resultant of these two forces. Here, and remember, this alpha is the angle made by the resultant with respect to the force P. इसके साथ angle है ये alpha. Okay. Here, any doubt? If you have any doubt, unmute yourself and ask me your doubt. Shall I proceed further? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, when two forces are acting on a body, we can calculate their resultant by using the triangle law and the parallelogram, graphically as well as analytically. Clear? And magnitude of the resultant of the two forces is given by R equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. And inclination of the resultant is given alpha equal to tan inverse of Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. This gives the magnitude and direction of the resultant of the two forces. Clear? Now I would like to tell you few more important points here related to this resultant of the two forces. We are talking only about the resultant of two forces. Yeah. Now, if you consider this parallelogram law, here, parallelogram law states that when two forces are represented by the two adjacent side of a parallelogram, here then this diagonal represents their resultant. Here, from this one, here I can conclude that the resultant of the two forces, always lies in between that two forces. Here, ये दोनों का resultant किधर आएगा? If I represent this resultant here, the resultant of these two forces always lies in between that two forces. Clear? So remember this thing. First point is that the resultant, that is the single equivalent force. When I say that the resultant,
एक्सक्यूज मी
yes.
सर, ये डेरिवेशन हमको पेपर के लिए लर्न करना है?
नहीं, आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग इंपॉर्टेंट है. यार कोई पूछेगा नहीं है आपको कि डिराइव किया R इक्वल टू अंडर रूट ऑफ P स्क्वायर प्लस Q स्क्वायर प्लस 2PQ cos ऑफ थीटा कैसे आएगा. ओके, लिसन टू मी. फॉर ऑल थ्योरिक and derivations, clear? For all theory and derivations type of questions, clear, I suggest refer previous 5 years question papers. Clear? उसके बाहर का theory कुछ भी नहीं आएगा. Clear? लेकिन न्यूमेरिकल्स कहीं से भी पूछ सकते हैं. Understood? Okay? So this derivation is not important. Understanding is important. Here you can use this to solve the sum. Okay. Now resultant, here of two forces, कहां पे lie होता है? Resultant of two forces always lies in between that two forces. दो फोर्सेस का रिजल्टेंट, ये एक फोर्स है और एक दूसरा फोर्स है, इसका रिजल्टेंट इसके बाहर कभी नहीं आएगा. रिजल्टेंट ऑफ द टू फोर्सेस ऑलवेज लाइज इन बिटवीन दैट टू फोर्सेस. क्लियर? प्रोवाइडेड ये दोनों फोर्सेस का नेचर सेम होना चाहिए. हाँ, यार बोथ शुड हैव द सेम नेचर. यार एक तो दोनों अवे चाहिए या तो दोनों टूवर्ड्स चाहिए. अगर ये एक फोर्स है और दूसरा फोर्स ऐसा है तो ये दोनों का रिजल्टेंट इनके बीच में आएगा एंड डायरेक्टेड टूवर्ड द पॉइंट. Okay, resultant of the two forces always lies in between that two forces. Understood? Very important. Yeah, and resultant is a single equivalent force. Understood? Second thing is that let's consider these two forces are perpendicular to each other. Let these two forces are perpendicular to each other. Let this is one force. Now, since this force is acting along the x-axis, so I am denoting it as a fx. Instead of p, I am denoting it as a fx, force along x-axis. And let this is the force along y-axis. Instead of q, I am denoting it as a fy. Here, an angle between them is theta equal to 90 degree. अभी ये दोनों का जो resultant है, this resultant will lie in between the two forces. And let this angle is alpha. Here, so if these two forces are perpendicular, here for two perpendicular forces, here what will be the magnitude of this resultant? Use the same formula. Here instead of p there is a fx, instead of q there is a phi, and angle theta is given, which is 90 degree. Here, so this become, if I apply the same formula over there, so it becomes the cos 90 and cos 90 is 0. Here, so for two perpendicular forces, the resultant become under root of fx square plus fy square. Am I right? Because this third term becomes 0. Here, so remember, when two forces are perpendicular to each other, their resultant is given by under root of fx square plus fy square. Here, इसके लिए अगर आपने ये triangle construct किया तो you will get right angle triangle. This is fx, this is fy. Two forces are represented by the two sides of a triangle taken in order, and this third side represents their resultant. Here, ये angle 90 degree है, so यहाँ पे हम लोग Pythagoras अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, और Pythagoras अप्लाई किया तो you will get r equal to under root of fx square plus fy square. यार इससे भी ये लिखो चलेगा, इससे भी ये लिख सकते हैं, because theta is 90 degree, which is 0. Understood? So ये पक्का याद रखो, when your two forces are perpendicular to each other, here their single equivalent force, here their resultant is given by under root of fx square plus fy square, and its inclination alpha is equal to tan inverse of, in bracket, here q मतलब fy, sin 90 is 1 upon p मतलब fx, and cos 90 is 0. Here, so in that case, when two forces are perpendicular, then the direction of the resultant is given by tan inverse of fy upon fx. Have you understood this? इसमें और इसमें डिफरेंस समझ में आएगा दोनों में क्या है?
यस सर.
ओके, क्लियर. सो आज आपको जो पीडीएफ दिया है उसमें से इतना ही आपको लर्न करने का है. ओके, क्लियर. ट्रायंगल लॉ एंड द पैरेललोग्राम लॉ, पॉलीगॉन लॉ. यार एक 2 मिनट में मैं आपको पॉलीगॉन लॉ भी एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूं, क्योंकि पॉलीगॉन लॉ में ऐसा कुछ डेरिवेशन नहीं है यार, लेकिन योर फर्स्ट एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स लैब इज बेस्ड ऑन द लॉ ऑफ पॉलीगॉन ओनली. क्लियर. तो पॉलीगॉन लॉ का अंडरस्टैंडिंग अच्छा होना चाहिए. आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू दैट here the difference between the triangle and the parallelogram and polygon law is that here these two graphical methods are applicable only to add the two forces. Clear? But when we have to add more than two vectors or more than two forces, we have to use the law of polygon. And law of polygon is extension to the triangle law. Same concept है. यहाँ पे दो forces है इसलिए ये triangle बन गया. अगर इसमें more than two forces रहेंगे तो ये polygon बनेगा. That's why it is known as the law of polygon. Yeah. So first thing, polygon law is used to add more than two forces, and it is extension to the triangle law. Here, so it is known as a law of polygon of forces. Okay, here suppose one body is there in which suppose these three forces are acting. Let it is F1, F2, F3. Here with their angles and everything is given. Here we have to add these three forces graphically. Here, so for that we are going to use the law of polygon of forces. So this law of polygon of forces states that when number of forces are acting on the body are represented by the sides of a polygon taken in order. तो अभी ये तीनों forces को हम लोगों को represent करने का है graphically. So to represent this force F1 graphically, draw the line parallel to this force F1. So this AB line represent the force F1. Then represent this force F2 graphically. For that, draw the line parallel to the line of action of this F2. But we have to represent these forces as the sides of a polygon taken in order. मतलब जहाँ पे ये end हुआ है वहां से वो start करने का है. So draw the line parallel to the line of action of this F2. So let this BC line represent the force F2. Here, then third force start from this head end. Draw the line parallel to the line of action of this F3. So the CD line represent the force F3. So law of polygon states that a number of forces act on the body are represented by the sides of a polygon taken in order. Here, then this closing side of the polygon represents their resultant taken in opposite order. Same order में नहीं, opposite order. Clear? So if you measure this length, which gives you the magnitude of the resultant, measure its inclination, which gives the direction of the resultant. Clear? So triangle law and polygon law का concept same है, लेकिन उधर दो forces था इसलिए ये figure बन गया था triangle. अभी इसमें more than two forces है इसलिए it becomes the polygon. Clear? Any doubt? Have understood that law of polygon of forces? Just read from the given PDF. Okay. अभी आप बोलेंगे कि सर इसलिए ट्रायंगल एंड पॉलीगॉन से आपने जैसा फार्मूला बनाया टू फाइंड आउट द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ द टू फोर्सेस, इसमें से फार्मूला कैसे बनाएंगे? इफ आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ दिस थ्री फोर्सेस एनालिटिकली, तो उसके लिए फार्मूला क्या रहेगा? हियर, सो आई विल टेल यू इट इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. ओके, यार हम लोग ये इसमें से नहीं डिराइव करेंगे. यार इसके लिए भी, ये एनालिटिकल के लिए भी हम लोग यही कंसेप्ट यूज करेंगे, ट्रायंगल लॉ का ही कंसेप्ट यूज करेंगे, या तो ये बेसिक कंसेप्ट जो एक्सप्लेन किया वही यूज करेंगे हम लोग. यार एनी डाउट? हैव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now answer your roll calls. Tell me. Arya?
Present, sir.
Present. Abhishek?
प्रेजेंट सर.
Aditya Biradar?
Present, sir.
Aditya Bhandare?
Present, sir.
Aditya Prajapati? Aditya Prajapati? Then Advait?
Present, sir.
Present.
प्रेजेंट सर.
Ahire Harshal? Ahire Harshal?
Present, sir.
प्रेजेंट सर.
डबल डबल मत बोलो ना रे.
Aditya Prajapati is present, sir.
अरे एवरी टाइम तू पहले बोलता नहीं और फिर बोलता है कि प्रेजेंट है करके.
Sir,
Last-
mic
last
is not
lecture-
working.
ठीक है. अलदर प्रदीप? आर्या म्हात्रे? चलो फटाफट. विनया प्रमोद तिवारी? शगुन अंबवणे?
Present, sir.
चंद्रकांत अमेय चंद्रकांत चौधरी?
Present, sir.
आनंद वलिप्पन?
प्रेजेंट सर.
एक मिनट. हाँ, अनुष्का सुपे?
Present, sir.
अर्जुन?
Present, sir.
आर्यन कोरे? आर्यन? आर्यन पाटील? आर्यन पाटील? आशुतोष सिंह? आशुतोष सिंह? आवाड आदर्श?
Present, sir.
Ayushi,
Present.
Ayushi,
Present, sir.
Pooja Bandagar, Pooja, Shwetang,
Present, sir.
Neil Bari, Sumit Bokade, Bhavna Bhaskaran,
Present, sir.
हर्षल भामरे,
प्रेजेंट सर.
कल क्यों अब्सेंट था रे? सिद्धेश ठाकरकर,
प्रेजेंट सर.
निशान,
प्रेजेंट.
पुष्पक भारसाट,
प्रेजेंट सर.
पुष्पक,
प्रेजेंट सर.
किरण भाटी, किरण भाटी,
Present, sir.
भावसार संदेश, हरमेश भाव्या, सॉरी भाव्या शाह,
प्रेजेंट सर.
अमन विश्वकर्मा,
Present, sir.
भाविशा भोईर,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
शिवराज गोपालपुर,
Present, sir.
मुकेश बिल्ला,
प्रेजेंट सर.
यश बिरंजे,
Present, sir.
सोहम बिरवाडकर,
Present, sir.
प्रतिमा बोंबे,
Present, sir.
जागृती बोरसे, पूजा चाफेकर,
Present, sir.
चैताली,
Present, sir.
चैतन्य,
प्रेजेंट सर.
साहिल, भावेश चतुर्वेदी,
प्रेजेंट.
मानस चौबड़,
प्रेजेंट.
कुणाल चौधरी,
Present, sir.
मृदुल चौधरी.
प्रेजेंट सर.
नेक्स्ट वन इज कृष्णा चौहान,
प्रेजेंट सर.
यशिता चौहान, ओमहरी चेके,
Present, sir.
सूर्यनारायण चौधरी,
प्रेजेंट सर.
आफ्ताब,
Present, sir.
अरे बहुत दिनों के बाद आया तू लेक्चर में,
हाँ सर.
फिर कहाँ था इतने दिन?
सर थोड़ा बीमार था.
Listen, as per university norm, if your attendance falls below 75%, you are not supposed to be eligible for writing the exam. Okay, college may deny you to write the exam if your attendance falls below 75%. Okay, that is the mandatory requirement. Soham Danukar,
प्रेजेंट सर.
Kashish Dalvi,
Present, sir.
Aryan Darade, आस्था दरेकर, आस्था, ध्रुव दास,
Present, sir.
संकेत दास,
प्रेजेंट सर.
विनायक देवरे,
प्रेजेंट सर.
खुशी सिन्हा.
Present, sir.
You also come after a long time.
Oh, it's my first lecture in mechanical.
Why?
Sir, I joined yesterday only.
कशिश भानुशाली,
Present, sir.
ओमकार भुसले,
प्रेजेंट सर.
आदित्य बोबड़े, अभिनव देसाई,
Present,
Present, sir.
आकाश दिवाकर,
Present, sir.
विपुल भोईर,
Present, sir.
यतीन चौहान,
Present, sir.
मेघना चौहान.
Present, sir.
Okay, you can leave and join.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, roll number 20, Ayushi Bisan is present. Like, her mic is not working, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should be soon. Okay, present.